Hello. Right, in this one, I'm going to make essentially just a small shack. So we've got our view here, and if you hold the middle mouse button down, you can turn your view around. And if you press 1 on your numpad, you'll default to front view, 3 on your numpad, and you'll default to the side view. A couple of things to change before we actually start. Right at the top here, you've got Blender Render, Blender Game, Cycles Render. We want Cycles Render. And then a couple of extra things. There are little buttons over here just for that. But you can also bring that out and in with T. We'll use that a lot. And one on the other side as well, which you can bring out with N. Cool. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to literally just add a cube. Really quickly as well, if your cursor say over here and you've got your cursor up here, if you want to center it, hold Shift C. Yep, so we're going to go mesh. So just down here, add mesh cube. And I'm going to use this red line as the floor for now. And you want to keep this orange dot, which is the origin point. You want to keep the orange dot on the floor, essentially. So to make this, what we're going to do first is I'm going to hit Tab, which puts you into edit mode. You can also go into object mode down here, edit mode. And I'm just going to move it up. Now it would be quite finicky to try to get it to land perfectly, so you can hold Control, and that'll lock it to the grid. And I mean, I could probably just say that's a shack, but that would be cheating, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in edit mode here. So I'm going to press S to scale it, and I'm going to press Y to lock it onto scaling only on one axis. Okay, I'm going to press 7 to look from above, and I'm just going to pull this down like that. Next up, I'm going to hold Shift and D and to duplicate it. As you can see, it's now duplicated. When you do that, I'm going to quickly just cancel. Yep. When you do that, you're going to go Shift D, and you've got hold of it then. If you right click, you'll put it back on the exact spot. And then going to press R to rotate it, and going to just flip it on its side and move it like that. And I'm going to do the exact same again, so Shift D. There we go, and I'm actually going to, for the sake of making it a little easier, I'm going to move this one back. So I'm going to hold Alt. I'm going to go on Face Select mode. You've got different selection modes that are down here. This is Vertices Select mode, which allows you to do that. Line Select mode, so you select the line, and Face Select mode. Brilliant. And I move things around, by the way, by pressing G. So you select something and then press G. Now I want to select all of this piece of wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Alt and right click on the line there while in Face Select mode, then 7 to look above. I'm just going to drag that up to there. And finally, I'm going to once again Shift D, bring it forward, locking it in place, and then with this one still selected, right, so I want this selected currently. Brilliant. I'm going to go Control P. Oh, no, Alt P. What? 1 second, I will have it work. Just P. By selection. Because these will all work on their own. I don't need to worry about those, but I want this one to have something different because we're going to need a door. So I'm going to, as you can see now, these are in separate objects. So if I press A to select all, let's see, I've got that. And you can press A to deselect all. Tab back into object mode. Onto my front object, press Tab again to go to edit mode on this. I'm going to press Control R to add an edge loop, and I'm going to scroll up once. Left click, and then I'm able to move these around, and I want them dead in the center, so I'm going to right click. Next up, I'm going to do it the same again, but this time I'm going to put rather than putting my mouse at the top, I'm going to put it to the side, to it there. This time I don't want it directly in the center, so I'm going to hold Control and bring it up, and we'll say that's a good spot for a door. Next up, we're literally going to just delete the faces there, and I'm going to go into Edge Select mode, select that face, and I'm just going to press F. I seem to have lost an extra face, but that's not an issue. And what I will do, if I delete this face, and this face, I should now be able to just... You probably won't have to do this, it's just I messed it up a bit. So I'm literally just lining this up. I'm actually doing it very roughly, not too bothered about if it works perfectly or not. This is just me showing you. And I'm just going to add faces in, so I'm using shift click to add the faces in. And I'm actually going to delete the lines on the edge because I don't need those. Perfect. So now I'm going to select this face and this face, this one and this one, and now I should be able to just go F. Okay, it hates me, but I'm going to add that face in. Now I should be able to just press F. Nope. Okay. Oh, I've already got a face there. And perfect. Finally, we did it. Now, extra thing, these all should be level on the ground, but you will notice that I haven't got edges on these and it looks a bit weird. That is intentional. I'm going to go add mesh cube, and then you can see it's just added a huge cube in the middle. I'm going to go to edit mode. Again, I'm going to shift it up to meet the center. I'm going to go one block lower, 7. I'm now going to move it over to this corner. I think I'm 1 off here. Perfect. And I only want to scale X first. I want it to be just thicker than the wall. Perfect. And then Y. And again, I want it to just thicker than the wall. And I'm also going to bring it up a little bit here, just to about there. Now it's one corner done, and I'm going to actually use a mirror modifier here to mirror on the x-axis and the y-axis. Now, the way I use the mirror modifier there, if I remove it quick, is select the piece that you want to mirror. This is why you want to make sure to keep your origin dead on the center. And then on this side menu here, there is a mirror button. There is a modifier button, which is a picture of a spanner. Add modifier, mirror, and it automatically will tick X, and you want to click Y as well. The other ones on here, merge, will mean that if the 2 points touch, they will automatically merge together rather than creating 2 points on the same spot. And clipping will automatically make them connect and not detach automatically. Clipping isn't, or merge isn't going to make a difference here because all of our posts are separate. Brilliant. Next up, I am actually going to just add a floor in, which is as simple as that. And I'm going to then select this bottom edge and this one and that one, though I think it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to extrude it down tiny amount. So it's got a little bit of thickness, a little bit of thickness there. Now for a door, again, our door is going to be very simply done. So I'm going to go cube, front view, bring it up to the level, S, Y, front view, SX, oh sorry, SX. I want it to be just and just so that those lines disappear like that. And now I want to bring it in here. Perfect, it should be just and just smaller. And now I want to select this top face. I want to bring it down just there. And I'm going to bring these ones in a little bit as well, just to have the small crack there and at the bottom as well. And that is sort of a door, but it's not very interesting. So what we'll do is we'll add a edge loop around the bottom, and then we'll select this face, this face, this face, and this face. And now I'm going to press I, and then I'm going to press I again, just to have sort of like that. And then I'm going to press E, and then S, Shift Z. Sorry. I want to go SY. Sorry. There we go. Just to bring it in a bit. And now I'm going to go down here to, and right along at the edit mode, I'm going to go individual origins. And I'm just going to press S to scale it, so it gets in like that, much closer to a door now. Very simple to do. And then for a roof, again, we can probably do something very, very simple. Just adding a plane in. Gonna bring this up. That's a roof, but that's a bit boring. You'll notice I brought the origin up. That's not an issue now. I'm gonna just bring it up like that. And I'm going to select all with A. I'm going to go S, X. Now I'm going to bring it down a notch to about there. And then I'm going to go to the top view with 7 on the numpad, SY. Just bring it out a little bit more there as well. Perfect. And now I'm going to stay in edit mode, press E. Just to bring it up a little like that. And connect it up like that. Perfect. I'm now going to add loop cut here. Select face select mode, 7, Z, and then press B to select all. I'm just going to delete it. And then going to put on a mirror modifier with the Y coordinate, and I'm going to turn on clipping, and I can show you what it does now. If I press 3 to go on the side view, you'll notice I can just drag this away, turn clipping on, it's connected. That's what we want. Now I want to add in a loop cut about there. I want it to be just inside the wall, but only just and just. Perfect. I then want to do another cut. And I'm going to really quickly just make sure I get this about right. I want that to be about onto there, like that. Next up, I'm actually going to delete, I'm going to press C, delete this side as well, delete faces, and then turn on an X mirror. Perfect. I'm going to just select that one point there, press 1 and drag it over. Brilliant. Add a face in. You'll notice it's gone a different color, so I'm going to select it, press W to bring up this menu, flip normals. We've got a bit of a gap there, so that just means that I missed when I put my point in, which isn't an issue. Let's just bring it 2 notches over, and then I'll bring this one in line. Yeah, it doesn't need to be perfect for this kind of building. And there we go. We've got a basic cut. I could add a handle onto the door. It's not really necessary. But the next thing we're going to really quickly do is I'm going to select everything in object mode, and I'm going to select the wall, and then do Control P, set parent to object. That way, at the moment, if I move the roof, it moves separately, but if I select the actual building, I can move everything as a group. Because now, say I wanted to make just, say, a little village. Sorry. If I wanted to make, say, a little village, I would want it on bounding box center, and then I can just sort of bring all these in with this. And then I might go mesh plane, and we'd have a little village. You'll notice if I go into rendered, not really looking like a little village. And what we'll do is in the next one, I'll address that and we'll turn it into something from that. We'll texture these, and yeah, well, put a floor on, maybe put a small well or fire in the middle or something, and put a sky up there. And yeah, very, very simple buildings. You probably wouldn't use these buildings if you wanted to actually have the buildings be used. Say if you were making a short film, you wouldn't want to do this. But say you've got a flyover shot, like if I went like back here, and if these was textured, you wouldn't know. Like, you don't know that they're a small design. It just looks like a small group of houses, and you can get away with it. With these kind of ones as well, another thing you can do, you might want to say go I, and then bring it in like that, and then just delete the face, and probably just leave it at that. And then it's got, each house has one little window. Yeah, easy way of just adding windows if we added one to the other side as well. Again, if you were doing this for real, you'd want to make sure you're measuring these so that they're the same size, because I highly doubt they are at the moment for me. Yeah, that they aren't the same size, so surprisingly not too bad. That's not too bad, not for me. I would usually have it well off. But I can slightly bring it to match, I suppose. Actually, I think I've kind of done it almost perfect, worryingly. Okay, anyway, yeah, so there you got a house. You've got sort of doors. They aren't done particularly well. I haven't got the origin point. What I'd want to do is set the origin point for this door down like there, and go set origin to 3D cursor, and then I'm gonna open it and close it like that. But you'll notice that messed up all the others. Not an issue. Oh, but anyway, that's that done, and thank you for watching, and I'll do the next one whenever you're ready.